Questions, please.
You said right away that you would beat by a better man on the night. Do you think that you would ever be able to have a chance of beating that guy?
Do you know, I thought that, seeing my standing, I did think it was a lot closer than what some of the judges had it. Some of the rounds they could have went either way, and I knew they were going to be, the judges, it was going to go against me, because obviously the judging in the last fight, I said that we knew that from the start. I felt as if I was letting them steal some of the rounds. I was letting them outwork me. In the corner you could hear Billy saying to me, get your second phase of punches off, start getting your third and your fourth shots in. But you could see every time I was going to throw, he was just stepping out of distance, and he was just looking for counters all night, and when somebody's doing that, and especially when his movement's so good, it's hard to fight against it. So again, the man I can say, the better man won on the night.
Is there a sense of the switch hitting he was doing? It was phenomenal. Could you cope with that at all?
I know, do you know, I felt as if there was, like I said, there was times when he was southpaw. I was letting him steal the fight. I was letting him outwork me, outjab me. You could see that I was trying to get him to commit. The way I see it about fighting a counter puncher is counter puncher. I was trying to draw the leads off him, but he wasn't having it. He was just waiting. So I felt as if sometimes I was forcing it, and that's when I was getting caught with stupid punches.
If you feel you were beaten by the better man, where do you go next?
First thing I said was, get Eddie, top nice to top rank. I'd love to get a rematch, even fight him in America. But you know, domestically over here, there is the lightweight division is buzzing now. There's some big fights out there. But I think the way I would like to go is, if we don't get a rematch with Terence, go chasing one of the other world titles. Some good fights out there, winnable fights, and they're not going to be as tricky as that guy. So I'll just leave it up to Eddie and Alex.
What I said, just so you know, is that the only reason to have domestic fights is if they carried the carrot of a world title fight,
yep.
As in final eliminators or something like that. And unfortunately, you're the #1 lightweight in the country, so that's unlikely.
Okay, where does he rate compared with Martinez?
I think it was a Roman Martinez talking. I think it was a totally different fight. Martinez was more he was wanting you to stand in front of him and drag you into a fight, whereas we said before that fight we knew how technically good he was. In the build up to that fight, I said I was going to watch him. I think I watched a couple of rounds, and this afternoon, when my wife Amanda, she went to the hairdressers, I actually fired his DVD on and I had a quick look. I think it was his last fight, but you know, I knew what to expect. He was just always waiting all the time, and it was hard. When somebody's like that, it's hard to fight against them.
Frustrating.
Like I said, the better man won on the night.
You've lost before, so you're absolutely certain that you'll be able to bounce back from
The first thing I said when we were standing waiting for the decision to go, I knew it was close. And I could see a couple of people, they were at ringside, they were saying, nah, you've not got it. I've always said boxing's all I've ever wanted to do. And I will be back. This is just a setback now. There is still some big fights out there for me, and again, my hunger to box is the same whether I was world champion or not. My attitude towards it doesn't change at all.
When you moved up from super feather to lightweight, you said you thought that was only a stepping point up to light welter. Do you still look at that, or do you feel?
The last fight, well, this fight especially, we made the weights. Well, I made it as comfortable as I could, especially a lot better since we brought in my pal who was dealing with the diet side and the strength and conditioning side. I think a lot of people could see that obviously at the weigh-in as well. I wasn't as drawn in, and I'm still looking in good shape at the weight. For now, definitely going to be staying at lightweight. There's too many big fights out there to move up. So
if the chance came at light welter though, would you step up?
Never say never.
Did you feel that you hurt him at any point? You know, you landed a good shot in the 10th, but was it just his movement was too slick?
It was it was just so awkward in there. I felt as if even I think one of the rounds I caught him a good body shot and he started to he went on the back foot.
Yeah. It was the 8th, I think.
Was that right? But again, he just went back to doing what he was doing, just waiting for me to commit, and then just looking for his jabs or his right hooks over the top of my jab. And I could see Billy was getting frustrated in the corner as well. But see, when you're in with somebody whose game plan is to make you miss and just wait all night, it's hard to fight against them.
Is there any reaction at all in your jaw, Ricky, at any stage?
No, just fine. I know a lot of people were saying, oh, is his jaw going to be alright when he's getting hot with 8 ounces. We started sparring with David Brophy, who's a big super middleweight, and even he was catching me. He caught me a couple of clean shots, and I took a few scalps for the full 6 weeks of sparring. It's holding up, so it was always in the back of my mind that nah, just go out there and go on with the fight. If it harms, it harms.
Did any times has it crossed your mind that this might be your last fight?
Not at all. I've got another good 10 years in me anyway. I'm 31 in April. Easy, another good 10 years. So you're stuck with me.
10 years, fucking hell. I might not be around in 10 years.
What would you find good does that suit?
Good as you just said.
I mean, presumably this has been your life's ambition.
Right.
Okay.
You said that there hasn't been a champion from Nebraska for 100 years. Who was the last champion from Nebraska?
Man, I can't even remember. We only had like 2 all time, I think.
Terence, how tough was Ricky Burns?
Oh, he's real tough. You know, I hit him with some hard shots and he took it well. You know, he got himself together real quick.
So you feel you've beaten a good champion?
Right.
You obviously knew he'd broken his jaw and his jaw had been mended. Did you go looking for it at all, or was that part of your game plan?
No, actually the game plan was to go to the body because we knew he liked to keep his hands up. And like I always said, you know, I wasn't going in the fight looking at his jaw any more than I would another fighter, because if his jaw wasn't healed, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be fighting. You know, so I wasn't going in there like, oh, his jaw weak or anything.
What's next for you? What would you? Who would you like to fight next?
Well, I'm the type of guy, I just let my handlers do their job and I just fight. You know, that's just what I do.
Very good.
How did the atmosphere compare to other places where you fought?
It was tremendous out there. You know, he had a lot of support there. You know, and that's what it's all about. Is your support system. You know, I had a lot of people at home supporting me. You know, they was cheering me on, just like he had his people here. I had my people over there.
Bob Arum in particular has predicted big things for you. Are you now going to be knocking on his door and saying, right, let's, you know, get me the big fights, get me the big places in Las Vegas and stuff?
Money was the word you were looking for. Big money as well. You
Big money,
Yeah, yeah. You know, that's gonna come with the, you know,
the title.
Yeah.
Terence, Ricky says he would like a rematch. Would you like to meet Ricky again?
Whatever. You know,
Would you come back to Scotland?
Would I come back to Scotland? Yeah, I like Scotland kind of. You know, that was kind of cool, but you know, we probably would put it in Omaha. You know? See how y'all like Omaha?
Do you feel this win makes you the best in the lightweight division?
I think I was already considered the best in the lightweight division.
If you had to name an opponent now, if you had to name an opponent that you want to fight next, is there any one that you would say?
I don't call out fighters.
You don't do that, man.
I don't call out fighters.
How about Broner? Would you like to fight him?
I'll fight anybody, but I don't call out fighters.
Okay.
Alright guys, thank you very much for your support all week.